Okay, let's move on to tax reform because you were just at the Reagan Ranch in California this past week.
Hallowed ground.
Okay. So let's talk about, can something be done on tax reform when the focus has shifted? I mean, first of all, the failure to repeal and replace Obamacare, and now from the Russia probe to now Charlottesville. Can you focus now on tax reform?
So despite all these other issues, some would call distractions, but they are important, so I don't want to minimize them. But despite all of that, the business of the nation must go on, Jackie. And we know that one of the major frustrations in our country is that the economic recovery hasn't reached every household. People who own stocks are doing well these days. That's wonderful. But not every American family can say that they've participated in the economic recovery. I believe that the best tool Congress has to address that is comprehensive tax reform. Close the loopholes, make the code more simple. And these conversations about tax reform can quickly get technical in nature, but at the end of the day, tax reform is about more prosperity, more opportunity for everyone in this country. There are a lot of young people graduating from colleges today, can't find good jobs. We need to get back to 3% growth in this country. That's what we were used to. After World War II, the average for a long time was 3%. And then for the last decade, we've been growing at 1.5%, 2%. That's one of the reasons why there's so much angst and frustration in our country. And I think the best thing Congress can do is pass tax reform that encourages jobs to be created here in this country, that stops the exodus of jobs to other countries, which we've seen over the last few decades. I am 100% focused on that. I serve on the Committee on Ways and Means, and that's our #1 focus.
Do you think it can happen? Because some people are saying that without repealing and replacing Obamacare, without fixing the healthcare system in this country, that you cannot move on to tax reform.
We certainly can. Some people tried to connect the two, but the truth is that they're completely different. We can simplify the tax code. We can encourage American companies to stay here, to invest here, to bring those billions of dollars in profits they have parked overseas back home so that they can invest them here in their employees in the United States. We can do all of that and still deal with other issues. The Congress has many committees. So on Ways and Means, our #1 focus, September and October, is going to be to advance a tax reform proposal in the House. Hopefully it'll pass out of the House. The Senate will pass it. And we can get it signed by the end of the year. And I think the country will have something to celebrate. And by the way, everyone who believes in comprehensive tax reform should weigh in. Our Democratic colleagues should weigh in. The last major tax reform in '86, signed by President Reagan, was a bipartisan product. I think we can do that again.